One litter can have two different fathers. If you've never heard that before, you are not alone. It's one of those wild truths that lives in the gap between our cat life and our cat's ancient biology. For people who love their felines like family, it matters because breeding isn't just about cute kittens, it's about timing, welfare, genetics, and creating a safe, low-stress experience for an animal that's both pampered roommate and desert-born hunter. Even if you never planned to breed, and honestly, for most pet homes in the U.S., spay or neuter is the most responsible choice. Understanding how your cat's body keeps time can turn a noisy spring night into something you recognize, respect, and manage with compassion. Here's the picture that surprises most of us. Female cats, called queens, aren't like humans or even dogs. They are seasonal, and when the days stretch longer, their bodies leaned into it. A healthy queen can cycle again and again through spring, with heat often rolling back every 3 to 4 weeks. And each heat can last a few days to a couple of weeks depending on the cat. That's why a quiet march suddenly sounds like a jazz club at 2 a.m. and why your lap buddy might start weaving, chirping, and pressing her belly low against the carpet like she's riding a wave. Inside that song is a plan older than house keys and cat trees. Cats are induced ovulators. Mating itself sparks the release of eggs. That's also why multiple matings are normal during a heat. A queen may accept one tom and then, a day later, another yes. One litter can carry genetics from more than one father. It's a quirk of feline design that helped their wild cousins hedge their bets and diversify the gene pool. And it still plays out in our living rooms if we let it. If someone in your life is a careful, ethical hobby breeder, they'll tell you that matching cats isn't as simple as my friend down the street has a boy. Details matter. Breeding pairings matters. Size and age matter. A small, 9-pound queen should not be paired with a much heavier tom. The goal is a safe delivery, not a heroic one. As a rule of thumb, both cats must be fully mature and healthy, with the males ideally experienced and on the older side thinking 2 years and up and unrelated enough to avoid the silent trap of inbreeding. That's not just a pedigree issue, it's a welfare issue. Reducing risks like fetal loss, defects, and hard labor. There's also the social piece that only cat people really get. Plenty of cats are confident with humans but wary around new cats, even friendly ones. Successful pairings often happen on the tom's turf, where he's calm and sure. The visit may take 3 to 5 days, because the first day is often all about decompression, breathing the room, reading the smells, figuring out where the water bowl is, tucking into a quiet corner to listen. Wise handlers start with the cats in side-by-side enclosures, letting them swap scents and staring without pressure. The moment the queen leans toward him, rubbing along the shared walls or settling near his side of the space, that's the green light to open the door. If her back arches, her tail puffs, or she spits like a tiny dragon, you don't force it, you back off and try another day or, sometimes, another match. That kinder tempo leads to better outcomes and fewer stress injuries for both cats. The moment of mating itself is brief and, frankly, odd to human eyes. The tom mounts, the queen might yowl sharply at the end, she might whirl and swat like she's filing a complaint with the manager. Then, in a beat that confuses new observers, she'll step aside to lick her hindquarters and roll, stretching and rubbing as if winding down after hot yoga. Those little rituals are normal. They're part of that induced ovulation machinery doing its thing. And when the mating takes, most queens stop calling and settle. If she continues to cycle and sing, odds are it didn't stick. And she may accept another mating as her body resets. Timing can trick you, though. Sometimes a heat simply ends on its own just as the attempts begin, giving the illusion of success. The telling, in the days that followed, there is silence where the late-night arias used to be and a subtle shift in appetite and mood. If things go as planned, there's a clock that starts ticking. Feline pregnancy runs about 63 to 65 days. By week 3, you may notice her nipples pink and plump. By week 4 or 5, a gentle hand can feel the swelling of life. That's your cue to slow everything down. Cats thrive on privacy when nesting. You don't need fancy gear, a sturdy cardboard box works, but you do need warmth, dryness, and a spot that feels hidden even in a busy house. Keep the nesting area above about 72°F, away from drafts and washer-dryer thumps. Clean towels beat scented blankets. Her nose knows. And less perfume means less stress. All of that is logistics. The heart of it is respect. Respect for vaccination schedules and parasite control so no one carries hitchhikers into the nursery. Respect for cleanliness, fresh litter, wiped bowls, quiet hands. Respect for temperament. Not every sweet house cat wants to be a mom. And not every Tom is cut out for the job. A good match asks for 2 healthy adult cats, current on vaccines, recently dewormed, and living in spaces that are actually clean, not Instagram clean. That reduces the risk of infections and gives the kittens a better first chapter. There's a human layer, too, that has nothing to do with genetics and everything to do with transparency. Ethical breeding is a handshake you can write down. Who covers the stud fee? Who chooses homes for kittens? How many follow-up check-ins happen? What the return policy is if a placement fails? The cleanest agreements happen before anyone loads a carrier into the car. That's not fussy, it's fair. It protects the cats. It protects the people. And it makes sure cute never outruns prepared. For those first 48 hours after a successful mating, your best move is to keep things calm. Skip the road trips. Skip the raucous game night. If she gets dirty, a quick shower-style rinse is fine, no tubs. No soaking and then a thorough towel off followed by a gentle blow dry so she doesn't chill. Stress is the enemy right here. Think hotel turn-down service, not amusement park. If you can wait a couple days, even better. The point isn't that bathwater washes away anything biological, it doesn't, but that a queen's body is hypersensitive after mating. And you win by lowering the noise. From here, the story becomes smaller and sweeter. She naps more, she picks one sunny spot like it's a mortgage. Her appetite climbs. And your job becomes the easiest kind: steady meals, fresh water, a litter box that doesn't smell like last week. You'll notice she wants you close but not in her space. The way a friend wants company during a movie but still keeps the blanket. If you've set up that nesting box something the size of a large moving box lined with clean towels, she'll start testing it, turning circles, kneading like she's working dough. What she's really doing is checking for safety. Our homes are loud with refrigerators and voices and doorbells. Her instincts are quiet. You can meet her in the middle by lowering the household volume and letting her retreat when she asks. Birth doesn't always arrive with drama. You might miss the whole thing while you're at the grocery store, only to return to a gentle choir of peeps and a mother so focused she barely glances up. The first rule now is restraint. Don't scoop the kittens. Don't flood the room with bright lights or new smells. Give her a warm, draft-free den. Swap out wet towels for dry ones when she takes a break. And keep a vet on speed dial in case anything stalls or looks wrong. As soon as she'll let you, make sure the kittens latch and nurse. That early milk, called colostrum, is tiny armor in a bottle cap. Weeks later comes socialization and vaccines and the sweet chaos of tiny teeth. For now, think like a doorman, quiet, helpful, invisible. There's a different path many American families take, and it deserves its own respect. It says, I love my cat, so I'm not going to breed her. It says, shelters in my city are full by July, and I want to be part of the fix. That path means spay and neuter, microchips, and the open-armed welcome we give to animals already here. If that's you, you're doing good work. And if you're the rare home considering a careful, health-tested pairings, then you're signing up not just for kittens but for the long, an ethical arc that starts with careful selection and ends with lifetime placement. It is work, it is money, it is staying up past midnight and weighing 4-ounce kittens on a kitchen scale and learning more than you thought you'd ever know about bottle feeding. It is also, when done right, a joy you can feel under your palm when a new mother trusts you enough to rest her head on your wrist. Age is another quiet lever in this story. We talk about maturity like it's a checkbox, but for cats it's a curve. Many male cats are behaviorally and physically ready for breeding around their first birthday. But some lines take longer, a few don't truly settle until their second year. Queens, for their part, can show that first heat by half a year. But early heats don't equal readiness. Those smaller bodies still have growing to do. And waiting until she's fully mature lowers the odds of hard labor and post-birth struggles. That patience pays off in healthier moms and sturdier kittens. On the day you introduce a matched pair, imagine you are hosting a polite blind date. Pick a quiet room, the size of a home office, with a door you can close and a hard floor you can mop. Set out to litter boxes, yes. 2. And keep their regular food on hand. Cats aren't persuaded by novelty diets, they're persuaded by familiarity. If the queen is the more sensitive animal, put her carrier down and let her step out on her own time. If she hides under a chair, that's not a failure, that's a nervous mammal scanning for exits. You can use a baby gate to create zones, or side-by-side wire crates if you're experienced. Give them the day to talk through the bars. Swapping blankets so each cat smells like the other's home. When she sidles up to his side, chin rubs. Tail quiver, you're closed. If instead you get the Halloween cat posture and a hiss, you stop there. No forced proximity. No, they'll figure it out. No hands reaching in to break it up. Cat bites go deep and get infected fast. The only thing tougher than an abscess is a ruined friendship between animals. When mating happens, it's quick. If you're in the room, it could feel like the end came before the beginning. A mount, a yowl, a swat, a stretch, a lick, and then it's over in minutes. Don't jump at the yowl, it isn't pain the way we think of it, it's reflexes and communication. Many handlers stepped out and simply noted the time. A second mating later the same day or the next is common. And again, that's by design. More matings can improve the odds of conception. Then, once those late night songs stop and the house settles, you move into the watchful waiting of the 2-month countdown. The closer you get to delivery, the more her choices will guide you. She may abandon the picture-perfect nest you built and decide the back of your closet is the only correct answer. You can compromise, move her chosen bedding into the closet and slide a low box underneath so the kittens don't wiggle out. Keep the temperature steady and the foot traffic low. If there are kids in the house, this is the museum phase. Look, whispers, don't touch, and keep the vet looped in. Any straining without progress, any foul-smelling discharge, any kitten stuck halfway, those are red flag moments for immediate help. A last word about aftercare, because it's the unglamorous key to healthy litters. Cleanliness matters more than decor. Change the towels, toss the soiled ones into a hot water wash, and top off her water bowl every time you pass. Feed the mother like an athlete in training, high-quality food. Small frequent meals. Keep other pets respectfully distant for the first week. And if you must handle the kittens early, keep it brief and warm-handed. The day you think the room smells a little doggy is the day you clean more, not the day you light a fancy candle. Her nose will thank you. By the time those kittens are 5 or 6 weeks old, your quiet nest is a circus. They will practice pouncing on each other's tails. They would stage jailbreaks over the 2-inch lips of the box and fail spectacularly. They will learn the litter box by following their mother, and they'll eat mush with their feet. This is also when your responsibility expands. You're not just raising kittens, you're raising future housemates for someone else. Gentle handling now makes for confident cats later. Thoughtful placement later makes for stable homes forever. In the end, whether you choose the spay-neuter path or you're walking the rarer, careful road of a planned breeding, the moral stays the same. Love looks like preparation. For cats, preparation means reading their clocks instead of forcing hours. It means choosing matches that make sense, giving them quiet, and stepping back at the right moments. It means keeping rooms warm enough, agreements clear enough, and expectations kind enough to let an animal be fully itself in the middle of a human life. If you do that, if you honor both the couch companion and the desert hunter, you'll hear something gorgeous where the old noise used to be. Not the AM aria that woke the block, but the hush of a mother, the tiniest peeps you've ever heard, and a house that understands what's happening and holds it well.